I'll do that. Okay. How are we sounding back there? Is it? Yeah? Okay.
Do we sound good? Yay? Cool. Yay.
Terra is doing it. Okay. Let me write that down.
There's your kicker.
Thank you. Yeah.
I can cross that off too, and cross out Amelia.
Oh, thank you. If you
And
can-
then same
Yeah. And there's parts for Tina. But I
at
don't-
the end. Wait, where's the end? Where's the?
There's the benediction. Yeah.
This is Terran too. How do you spell?
I think.
I think so too.
Okay.
Not 100% sure, but anyway, that's right. Boom, we're good.
Oh, it's gonna be. Yeah.
Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos. My name is Amelia Dolejsi, and my pronouns are she, they.
My name is Carter, and my pronouns are he, him.
We are part of the Pooh crew and are helping out with today's service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your image of the holy, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here.
If this is your first time with us, we'd love to get to know you. Please sign our guest book in the foyer. Grab some of our church swag, sign up to receive our announcement emails after the service. You can speak with Rebecca, the chair of the membership committee, or contact our minister, Reverend Tina Dio, during her office hours, since this is her Saturday off.
If you are watching online, please sign our virtual guest book. There is a link to the book in the notes beneath the video.
If you are a parent, you can speak with Terra, our Director of Lifespan Religious Education, about our Kids and Young Youth program. We have lots of worship options for your young children. We have our young worship space and intentions table. Kids can stay seated with their parents. We have our library quiet room and our nursery. This is down the hall, and our nursery coordinator, Sarah Hammond, would be happy to check in your kiddos.
If at any time you would like to light a candle or write a joy or sorrow in the book, please feel free to do so at the beginning of the service. These joys and sorrows will then be read aloud during the Candles of Community time. Again, welcome.
We are glad you are with us. We would now invite everyone to greet your neighbor by introducing yourself and saying hello. When the chime rings, it is time to come back and refocus.
Mimi had asked me to do that in the announcement.
Oh, okay.
So anything that says Rev T is me.
Perfect. We were wondering. Okay.
Oh, sorry, she didn't tell everyone.
Who's ringing the chime?
Huh?
Who's ringing the chime?
Well, I was going to. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you have another minute?
Yeah.
So, announcements. I don't know. Oh, here's the clicker. Let me get to where we are. Here we are. Good morning. It's wonderful to see you all here and to have our young people doing so much of our service. I'm Rebecca Howard. I use she, her pronouns, and I am filling in for Mimi Adams this morning, who is ill. So we have a few announcements before we get started. The membership, I have to look up there because maybe they're here, I don't know. The membership committee and Rev Tina are offering UU 101 an inquirer's class starting September 15th at 11:45. That's contact me. I'm the chair of the membership committee. While the program is aimed at newcomers, everyone is welcome to learn more about our church community. The first session is a question and answer session with Reverend Tina. Contact me for information. If you're interested in attending and you can't make the first session, let me know and I can send you the schedule. What else is up? Oh yes, monthly teas are resuming with Reverend T. This Wednesday, September 4th, in the Fellowship Hall is the first one from 3 to 4. The fall adult RE program, Great Decisions, America's Global Affairs, starts Monday, September 9th, 6 to 8 p.m. Sign up is still available. You can contact Don Morris if you're interested. He's here in the back. Knife and Fork Kickoff Dinner, Sunday, September 15th. Lots happening on September 15th. 5 to 9 p.m. Contact Dean Karstens and Earl Marie Hansen if you need information about that. Okay, and Terra said she has a couple more announcements too.
So next week, we'll start our first session of dork dancing at 10 to 10:15 in the fellowship hall before the service. And then also the Renaissance Fair Multi-Gen Field Trip will be Saturday the 14th. And if you want to go, please get your tickets as soon as possible because they're selling out. And you can contact me about either of those things. Thank you.
Okay, now it's call to worship.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth,
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
Can you stand up here?
Whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defeated or defeated, fearsome or fearful.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort.
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or renewing your promises.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whatever is on your heart, however it is, your soul is in this moment.
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
In this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection,
Let
let us worship together.
Hi, my name is Taryn. I use she, her pronouns. We light our chalice as an invitation into exploration of the world through innocence, into learning about the world through new experiences, into understanding the world through curiosity, into wisdom of the world through the spark of awe that we always carry.
Please rise and embody the Spirit. Join us for our opening hymn, number 361. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
How's that? Yeah, little technical glitch there. Okay. Candles burn this morning for Mimi Adams, who is ill. Gloria, oh, you told me, Lobet, for filling in at the last minute as director for our play. Also for our beautiful New Mexico weather. And for Betty Grisham, Beth Bowman's mother, who broke her leg. And for all the joys and sorrows we bring with us today, but are unspoken, but held tenderly in our heart, we'll take a moment of silence. So I think we didn't say this at the beginning, for everyone to just take a deep breath and settle in as we continue with our service, which I think is wonderful this morning. Our meditation is a spoken meditation written by Marianne Mimi Adams, and it's called My Trick. I have a trick for you, dear ones. Think about the most mature, wisest, most grounded, most open, and understanding inner part of yourself. If there is something that represents the inner part of you, like a bear or a waterfall, a tree, a stone, a figure, anything? What does it look like? Does it have any unique or special details? Does that part have a specific voice or sound? Instead of something you can see, is it a sound? If so, what does it sound like? Wind in leaves, a singing bowl, ocean waves, something else? Does the voice change? Is it something you can touch? What does it feel like? Hard and smooth, soft and squishy, warm and furry? Something else entirely? Does how it feels shift? What are the emotions it gives off? Protection, comfort, confidence, love, acceptance, joy? All at once? In combinations? One at a time? It depends on what you need. Where does it live inside you? In your heart? In your head? In your stomach? Coursing through your body? Does it change depending on your need or mood? Close your eyes now and think about, or possibly envision, this core part of yourself. Notice where your eyes move to when you do this, and keep that in your memory. Do this now. From now on, when you are feeling overwhelmed, triggered, scared, not yourself, take a moment to look in that direction where you saw this part of you and pay attention to the parts of your body where it usually stays. Close your eyes if you need to. Let the feelings it gives off remind you of who you are, because this is part of your core. It is just you. Take deep breaths, as many as you need, and let this core blanket you and fill you. Then continue with your life. And that, dear ones, is my trick. And you are invited to stay seated, and we will sing our meditation hymn.
an invitation to learn new tricks. There's this saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Ever heard that one? Well, it's a little outdated. In fact, it's just plain wrong. On episode 282 of the April 2024 podcast, American Psychology Association host Dr. Kim Mills, PhD, interviewed Dr. Rachel Wu, an associate professor of psychology at the University of California, Riverside. Her research focuses on learning and attention to maximize cognitive agility from infancy to aging adulthood. The question at hand? Why does it seem harder and harder to learn new skills the older and older we get? Dr. Wu explained many factors, including that adults have a multitude of distractions, responsibilities, and a shortage of time and patience. Children's lives are focused almost entirely on learning, even in play. Adults' lives are focused on almost everything except learning new things. Most adults give up if they can't learn something within 10 minutes because they have other things they need to get to. To children, nearly everyone is willing to teach them. If adults want to learn, they usually have to pay a specialized instructor or trainer and are limited in how many new things they can learn at once. In one study Dr. Wu worked on, older adults were assigned 3 college-level classes and topics they were unfamiliar with, and given the option of taking 2 more of their choice. After 3 months and a test of their overall cognitive abilities, their scores had improved significantly from their initial pre-class scores. They'd achieved scores similar to middle-aged people whose first time it was taking the test. After a year, their scores had improved to being similar to those of young adults in their early 20s taking the test for the first time. This has astounding implications. Not only can we learn new things as we age, but doing so helps us get better at learning. So go ahead and fire up your YouTube educational videos or your favorite documentary channel or every how-to guide in your secret stash of things you want to learn someday. Even Pooh Bear knows, even a silly old bear can learn new things, especially if there is a pot of honey waiting for him afterwards.
Christopher Robin and I walked along under branches lit up by the moon, posing out questions to Ellen Eeyore as our days disappeared all too soon. But I've wandered much further today than I should, and I can't seem to find my way back to the wood. So help me if you can, I've got to get back to the house in Pooh Corner by 1. You'd be surprised, there's so much to be done. Count all the bees in the hive, chase all the clouds from the sky, back to the days of Christopher Robin and Winnie-the-Pooh doesn't know what to do, got a honey jar stuck on his nose. He came to me asking help and advice. From here no one knows where he goes. So I sent him to ask of the owl if he's there, how to loosen a jar from the nose of a bear. So help me if you can, I've got to get back to the house in Pooh Corner by 1. You'd be surprised, there's so much to be done. Count all the bees in the hive, chase all the clouds from the sky, back to the days of Christopher Robin and Pooh. It's hard to explain how a few precious things seem to follow throughout all our lives. After all said and done, I was watching my son sleeping there with my bear by his side. So I tucked him in, I kissed him, and as I was gone, I'd swear that old bear whispered, "Boy, welcome home." Believe me if you can, I finally come back to the house in Pooh Corner by 1. And what do you know, there's so much to be done. Count all the bees in the hive, chase all the clouds from the sky, back to the days of Christopher Robin, back to the ways of Christopher Robin, back to the days of Pooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Who needs a house? Love, justice, equity, interdependence, and generosity.
One snowy day, Pooh Bear and Piglet were out walking in the snow to go visit Eeyore and sing a new song to him that Pooh had just written. It was very snowy and very cold.
Pooh, I was just wondering, how would it be if we went home now and practiced your song and then sing it to Eeyore tomorrow or the next day, when we happen to see him?
That's a very good idea, Piglet. We'll practice it right now as we go along. But it's no good in going home to practice it because it's a special outdoor song that has to be sung in the snow.
Are you sure?
Well, you'll see, Piglet, when you listen, because this is how it begins. The more it snows, tiddly-palm.
Tiddly what?
Palm. I put that in to make it more hummy. The more it goes, tiddly-palm, the more...
Didn't you say snows?
Yes, but that was before.
But before the tiddly-palm?
It was a different tiddly-palm. I'll sing it to you properly, and then you'll see. The more it snows, tiddly-palm, the more it goes, tiddly-palm, the more it goes, tiddly-palm on snowing. Now, nobody knows, tiddly-palm, how cold my toes, tiddly-palm, how cold my toes, tiddly-palm, are growing.
Pooh, it isn't the toes so much as the ears.
By this time, they were getting near Eeyore's gloomy place. It was still very snowy behind Piglet's ears, so they turned into a little pine wood. They were out of the snow, but it was very cold. To warm themselves, they sang the song through 6 times, Piglet doing the tiddly-palms and Pooh doing the rest of it. Soon they felt much warmer and were able to talk again.
I've been thinking about how poor Eeyore has nowhere to live. You have a house, and I have a house. They're very good houses. Christopher Robin has a house, and Owl and Kanga and Rabbit have houses. Even Rabbit's friends and relations have a house or someplace. But poor Eeyore has nothing. So this is what I've been thinking. Let's build him a house.
So that's a grand idea. Well, where shall we build it?
We'll build it here, just by this wood, and we will call this Pooh Corner. And we will build an Eeyore house with sticks right here on Pooh Corner.
There was a heap of sticks on the other side of the wood. I saw them, lots and lots, all piled up.
Thank you, Piglet. That would be a great help. Come along.
I had just spent the morning indoors on a trip to Africa and back when I heard a knock on my door. So I opened the door, stepped out, and there was one of my friends, a donkey. Hello, Eeyore. How are you?
It's snowing still. And freezing. However, we haven't had an earthquake lately.
What's the matter, Eeyore?
Nothing. Nothing important. I suppose you haven't seen a house anywhere about.
What sort of a house? And who lives there?
Just a house. I live there. At least, I thought I did. But I suppose I don't. But with all this snow and icicles and such, it isn't so hot or stuffy in my field about 3 o'clock in the morning. In fact, quite between ourselves and don't tell anybody, it's cold.
Oh, Eeyore.
So what it all comes to is that I built myself a house down by my little wood. The confusing part is that when I left this morning, it was there. And when I came back, it wasn't.
We'll go and look for it at once. In a very little time, we got to the corner of the field by the side of the pine wood when I heard voices singing.
It's a beautiful house. I wish it were mine.
Who?
It's Christopher Robin.
He's round by the place where we got all those sticks from.
Come on. Why, here is Eeyore. Hello, Eeyore.
Same to you, Pooh Bear, and twice on Thursdays.
Before Pooh could ask why Thursdays, I explained the sad story of Eeyore's lost house. And as Pooh and Piglet listened, their eyes seemed to get bigger and bigger.
Where did you say it was?
Just here.
Made of sticks.
Yes.
Oh.
What?
I just said, oh.
You're sure it was a house? I mean, you're sure the house was just here?
Of course I am.
Why? What's the matter, Pooh?
Well, the fact is, you see, it's like this.
It's like this, only warmer.
What's warmer?
The other side of the wood. Well, where Eeyore's house is.
My house? My house was here.
No. The other side of the wood.
Because of being warmer.
But I ought to know.
Come and look.
There wouldn't be two houses, not so close together.
We came round the corner, and there was Eeyore's house, looking as comfy as anything.
There you are.
Inside as well as outside.
It is my house. And I built it where I said I did, so the wind must have blown it here, right over the wood and down here. And here it is, as good as ever. In fact, better in places.
Much better.
It just shows what can be done by taking a little trouble. Do you see, Pooh? Do you see, Piglet? Brains first, then hard work. Look at it. That's the way to build a house.
So we left him to it. On our way to lunch, Pooh and Piglet told me about the awful mistake they had made. When we'd finished laughing, we all sang the outdoor song for snowy weather the rest of the way home. Piglet, who was still not quite sure of his voice, put in the tiddly-poms.
And I know it seems easy, but it isn't everyone who could do it.
Come on in, Pooh.
Love, transformation, interdependence, and generosity.
It was morning, and my friend Pooh Bear was walking through the woods singing a song he'd made up while doing his morning exercises.
Tra-la-la, 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 up! Rum-tum, tiddle-tum-tum. Tiddle-iddle, 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 down. Rum-tum-tum, tiddle-um.
As he hummed to himself, he wondered what everybody else was doing. Suddenly, he came to a sandy bank, and in the bank was a large hole.
Aha! That hole must mean rabbit. And rabbit means company. And company means food. Is anybody at home? What I said was, is anybody home?
No, you needn't shout so loud. I heard you quite well the first time.
But isn't there anybody here at all?
Nobody.
There must be somebody in there because somebody must have said nobody. Hello, Rabbit. Isn't that you?
No.
But isn't that Rabbit's voice?
I don't think so. It wasn't meant to be.
Oh, well, could you very kindly tell me where Rabbit is?
He's gone to see his friend, Pooh Bear, who is a great friend of his.
But this is me.
What sort of me?
Pooh Bear.
Are you sure?
Quite sure.
Oh, well. Come in then.
Who did you think it was?
Oh, well, I wasn't sure. You know how it is in the forest. One can't have anybody coming into one's home. One has to be careful. What about a mouthful of something?
Oh, I do always like a little something at 11 in the morning.
Honey or condensed milk with your bread?
Both, but don't bother about the bread, please. I must be going on.
Must you?
Well, I could stay a little longer if it...
As a matter of fact, I was going out myself. Directly.
Oh, well then, I'll be going. Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. If you're sure you won't have any more.
Is there more?
No, there doesn't seem to be.
I thought not. Well, goodbye. I must be going on. Let me just climb out of this. Oh, help! I'd better go back. Oh, bother. I can't go on. I shall have to go on. I can't do either. Help!
I guess I'll have to go out the back way. Hello. Are you stuck?
No, just resting and thinking, humming to myself.
Here, give us a paw.
Ow, you're hurting.
The fact is, you're stuck.
It all comes of not having front doors big enough.
It all comes of eating too much. Well, I shall go and fetch Christopher Robin.
Silly old bear.
I was just thinking Rabbit might never be able to use his front door again, and I should hate that.
Use his front door again? Of course he'll use his front door again.
Good.
If we can't pull you out, Pooh, we might push you back.
Of course, nobody is more glad to see Pooh than I am. Still, we all need our homes, and having got so far, it seems a pity to waste it.
Then there's only one thing to be done. We shall have to wait for you to get thin again.
How long does getting thin take?
About a week, I should think.
But I can't stay here for a week.
You can stay here all right, silly old bear. It's getting you out which is so difficult.
Well, we'll read to you and say you're taking up a good deal of room in my house. Do you mind if I use your back legs as a towel horse? Because, I mean, they are doing nothing, and it would be a pity to waste the... just to hang the towels on them. Joey, that's you. No, it's not.
A week? What about meals?
I'm afraid no meals, because of getting thin quicker. But we will read to you.
Then would you read a sustaining book, such as would help and comfort a wedged bear in great tightness?
So for a week, I read that sort of book at the north end of Pooh, and Rabbit hung his washing on the south end. And in between, Pooh felt himself getting slenderer and slenderer. And at the end of the week... Now!
Thanks, everybody.
Kanga and Roo don't belong here.
Love, justice, equality, transformation, pluralism.
When Kanga and Roo first came to the wood, the others were suspicious and not at all inviting or welcome.
How did they come here, Kanga and Roo?
In the usual way, if you know what I mean, Pooh. Looking back, I don't think he knew what I meant at all.
Oh, in the usual way. Ah, well, I'll just go talk to Piglet and Rabbit and explain that to them. Yes.
What I don't know about it is, here you are, me, you, Pooh, and you, and me, and Piglet, and suddenly...
And Eeyore.
And Eeyore. And then, all of a sudden...
And Owl.
And Owl. And then, suddenly...
No, and Eeyore. I was forgetting him.
Here we are, all of us. And then, suddenly, what do we find? We find a strange animal among us. An animal with whom we have never heard of before. An animal who carries her family about with her in her pocket. Suppose I carried my family around with me in my pocket. How many pockets should I want?
16.
I make it 17. 17, isn't it? And one more for a handkerchief. That's 18. 18 pockets. In one shirt, I haven't time.
I make it 15.
What?
15.
15 what?
Your family.
What about them?
I thought you were talking about your family.
Did I?
Yes, you said...
No, never mind, Pooh. The question is, what are we to do about Kanga?
Oh, I see.
the best way would be this. The best way would be to steal Baby Roo and hide him. Then, when Kanga says, "Where's Baby Roo?" we say, "Aha!" So Kanga knows we know where Baby Roo is. Baby Roo means, aha means, we'll tell you where Baby Roo is if you promise to go away from the forest and never come back. Now, I don't talk why I think.
There's just one thing. I was talking to Christopher Robin, and he said that Kanga was generally regarded as one of the fiercer animals. I'm not frightened of fierce animals in the ordinary way, but it is well known that if one of the fiercer animals is deprived of its young, it becomes as fierce as two of the fiercer animals. In which case, aha is perhaps a foolish thing to say. And, well, it's hard to be brave when you're only a very small animal.
It's because you're a very small animal that you will be very useful in the adventure before us. Because Kangas are only fierce during the winter months, and at other times they are of an affectionate disposition.
Oh, I shall be useful then in this adventure. Did you hear that, Pooh? I shall be useful.
What about me? I suppose I shan't be useful?
Never mind, Pooh. Another time, perhaps.
Without Pooh, the adventure would be impossible.
Impossible without me, that sort of bear.
Now listen, all of you. Plan to capture Baby Roo. 1. General remarks. Kanga runs faster than any of us, even me. 2. More general remarks. Kanga never takes her eyes off Baby Roo, except when he's safely buttoned in her pocket. 3. Therefore, if we were to capture Baby Roo, we must get a long start because Kangas run faster than any of us, even me. 4. A thought. If Roo had jumped out of Kanga's pocket and Piglet had jumped in, Kanga wouldn't know the difference because Piglet is a very small animal. 5. Like Roo. 6. But Kanga wouldn't even have to be looking the other way first, so as not to see Piglet jump in. 4. 7. C2. 8. Another thought. But if Pooh was talking about a very, very excitedly, she might not look the other way for a moment. 9. And then we could run away with Roo. 10. Quickly. 11. And Kanga wouldn't discover the difference until afterwards.
And afterwards?
What do you mean?
When Kanga does to discover the difference?
Then we all say, aha.
All 3 of us?
Yes.
Oh.
Why? What's the trouble, Piglet?
No, nothing. As long as we all 3 say it, I don't mind. But I shouldn't care to say aha by myself. But by the way, you were quite sure about Kanga's own being fierce in the winter ones?
Oh, yes. That's right. Well, Pooh, you see what you have to do.
No, not yet. What do I do?
Well, you just have to talk very hard to Kanga so that she doesn't notice anything about you. Like...
You mean like telling her a little bit of poetry or something?
Yeah, that's the spirit. Now come along.
So they went looking for Kanga and Roo, who were in a sandy part of the forest.
we're in the world.
Down mouthfuls, then jumping out.
Oh.
Just one more jump, dear, and then we must go home.
Good afternoon, Kanga.
Good afternoon, Pooh. Good afternoon, Piglet. Good afternoon, Rabbit.
Look at me jumping.
Hello, Roo, my little fellow.
We were just going home.
Hello, Roo.
What a nice day. Watch me jump. I'm getting good. Even when I fall in a mouse hole, I just jump right out.
Oh, Kanga, I don't know if you're interested in poetry at all.
Hardly at all. Roo, dear, just one more jump, and then we must go home.
Go on. Talking of poetry, I made up this little piece as I was coming along. It went like this. Now, let me see.
Fancy. Now, Roo, dear,
Would you like a piece? You like this piece of poetry?
You love it.
You must listen very carefully.
So as not to miss any of it.
Oh, yes.
How did it go, Pooh?
Lines written by a bear of very little brain. On Monday, when the sun is hot, I wonder to myself a lot. Now, is it true, or is it not, that what is which and which is what? On Tuesday, when it hails and snows, the feeling on me grows and grows that hardly anybody knows if those are these or these are those. On Wednesday, when the sky is blue and I have nothing else to do, I sometimes wonder if it's true that who is what and what is who. On Thursday, when it starts to freeze and hoarfrost twinkles on the trees, how very readily one sees that these are whose. But whose are these? On Friday...
Yes, it is, isn't it? Just one more jump, Roo, dear, and then we really must be going.
Talking of poetry, have you ever noticed that tree right over there?
Where? Now, Roo?
Right over there.
No. Now jump in, Roo, dear, and we'll go home.
You ought to look at that tree over there. Shall I lift you, Roo?
Yes. I can see a bird in it from here. Or is it a fish?
You ought to see that bird from over here, unless it's a fish.
It isn't a fish. It's a bird.
So it is.
Is it a starling or a blackbird?
That's the whole question. Is it a blackbird or a starling? In you go, Roo.
Why, where's Rabbit and Piglet? Are you all right, Roo, dear?
Rabbit had to go away. I think he thought of something he had to go and see about suddenly. And Piglet, too. He had thought of something at the same time, suddenly. And he had to go see to it, suddenly.
Well, we must be getting home. Goodbye, Pooh.
I wish I could jump like that. Some can and some can't. That's how it is.
I wish Kanga weren't so good at jumping. If it's shall really to fly, ow!
Those three must have be having a joke on me. But I know Christopher and Robin would never let any harm come to Roo. So if they are having a joke on me, I will have a joke with them. Now then, Roo, dear, bedtime.
Uh-huh.
Bath first.
Uh-huh.
The others weren't there. Rabbit was playing with baby Roo in his own house and feeling more fond of him every minute. Pooh was still at the standing place practicing jumps.
I'm not at all sure that it wouldn't be a good idea to have a cold bath this evening. Would you like that, Roo, dear?
Kinga, I see that the time has come to speak pain.
Funny little Roo.
I'm not Roo. I'm Piglet.
Yes, dear, yes. And imitating Piglet's voice, too. So clever. What will you be doing next?
Can't you see? Haven't you got eyes? Look at me.
I am looking, Roo, dear. And you know what I told you yesterday about making faces? If you go on making faces like Piglet's, you will grow up to look just like Piglet. And then think how sorry you will be. Now then, into the bath, and don't let me have to speak to you about it again.
Ow, let me out. I'm Piglet.
Don't open the mouth, dear, or the soap goes in. There. What did I tell you?
You did it on purpose?
That's right, dear. Don't say anything. Now, your medicine.
What medicine?
To make you grow big and strong, dear. You don't want to grow up small and weak like Piglet, do you? Well then. Come in.
Christopher Robin, tell Kinga who I am. She keeps saying that I'm Roo. I'm not Roo, am I?
You can't be Roo, because I've just seen Roo playing in Rabbit's house.
Well, fancy that. Fancy my making a mistake like that.
There you are. I told you so. I'm Piglet.
Oh, you're not Piglet. I know Piglet well, and he's quite a different color.
But I just...
It is really quite a nice taste when you get used to it.
Finally, Piglet wriggled out of Kinga's arms and jumped to the ground. To his great joy, I had left the door open. Never had Piglet run so fast, and he didn't stop running till he was 100 yards from his own house and rolled the rest of the way home, so as to get his own nice, comfortable color again.
After that, Kinga and Roo stayed in the forest.
Every Tuesday, I stayed with my great friend Rabbit.
And every Tuesday, I spent the day with my great friend Pooh,
teaching me to jump.
And every Tuesday, I spent the day with my great friend Piglet.
And we're all happy again.
Welcome to the wood, Tigger.
Love, pluralism, interdependence, generosity.
Winnie-the-Pooh woke up suddenly in the middle of the night and listened. Then he got out of bed and lit his candle and jumped across the room to see if anybody was trying to get to his honeycomb. And they weren't. So he jumped back again, blew out his candle, and got into bed. Then he heard the noise again.
Is that you, Piglet? Come on in, Christopher Robin. Tell me about it tomorrow, Eeyore. What can it be? It isn't a growl, and it isn't a purr, and it isn't a bark, but it's a noise of some kind made by a strange animal, and he's making it outside my door. So I shall get up and ask him not to do it. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Hello?
Hello?
Who is it?
Me?
Oh, well, come in. Come here. I'm Pooh.
I'm Tigger.
Does Christopher Robin know about you?
Oh, of course he does.
It's the middle of the night, which is a good time for sleep. And tomorrow morning we'll have some honey for breakfast. Do Tiggers like honey?
Oh, they like everything.
Then if they like going to sleep on the floor, I'm going back to bed, and we'll do things in the morning. Good night. Hello.
Oh, hello. I found somebody just like me. I thought it was the only one of them.
That's a looking glass. It's like a picture of you, and it does whatever you do, and...
Oh, excuse me a moment, but there's something climbing up on your table. Have I won?
That's my tablecloth.
It tried to bite me when I wasn't looking, but I was too quick for it. No, Tiggers don't like honey.
Well, you said they like different things.
Everything except honey.
I'll take you around to Piglet's house. Then you can try some of Piglet's acorns.
Thank you, Pooh, because acorns is really what Tiggers like best.
Now, Tigger, Piglet is a very small animal who doesn't like bouncing, so please don't be too bouncy at first.
Oh, Tiggers are only bouncy before breakfast. And as soon as we have had a few acorns, we become quiet and refined.
Hello, Piglet. This is Tigger.
Is it? I thought tigers were smaller than that.
Not the big ones.
They like acorns, so we've come because poor Tigger hasn't had any breakfast yet.
Help yourself. So you're Tigger. Well. What?
Excuse me. Tiggers don't like acorns.
But you said they liked everything except honey.
Everything except honey and acorns.
Oh, I see.
Well, what about thistles?
Thistles is what Tiggers like best.
So then let's go along and see Eeyore.
Hello, Eeyore. This is Tigger.
What is?
This.
What did you say it was?
Tigger.
He's just come.
When is he going?
Tigger is a great friend of Christopher Robin's who has come to stay in the forest.
You must mind what Eeyore says, but because he's always gloomy.
On the contrary, I'm feeling particularly cheerful this morning.
I still haven't had any breakfast yet.
I knew there was something. Tiggers eat thistles, so I came to see you, Eeyore.
Of course, your new stripy friend. Naturally, he wants his breakfast. What did you say his name was?
Tigger.
Then come this way, Tigger. A little patch I was keeping for my birthday. But after all, what are birthdays? Here today and gone tomorrow. Help yourself, Tigger.
Thank you, Eeyore. Are these really thistles?
Yes.
What Tiggers like best?
That's right.
I see. Hot.
Your friend appears to have bitten a bee.
Tiggers do not like thistles.
Then why bend a perfectly good one?
But you said that Tiggers liked everything except honey and acorns.
And thistles.
What are we gonna do?
We must go and see Christopher Robin.
You'll find him with Kanga. Could you ask your friend to do his exercises somewhere else? I shall be having lunch directly and don't want it bounced on before I begin. A trifling matter and fussy of me, but we all have our little ways.
Come along and we'll go see Kanga. She's sure to have lots of breakfast for you.
Oh, Hot. Come on.
What shall we do about poor little Tigger? If he never eats nothing, he'll never get bigger. If he doesn't like honey and acorns and thistles because of the taste and because of the bristles. And all the good things which an animal likes has the wrong kind of swallow or too many spikes.
He's quite big enough, anyhow.
He isn't really very big.
Well, he seems so.
Whatever his weight in pounds, shillings, and ounces, he always seems bigger because of his bounces. And that's the whole poem. Do you like it, Piglet?
All except for the shillings. I don't like they ought to be there.
They wanted to come in after the pounds, so I let them. It's the best way to write poetry, letting things come.
Oh, I didn't know.
Is this the way?
Oh, there you are, Tigger. I knew you'd be somewhere.
I've been finding things in the forest. I found a poo and a piglet and an Eeyore, but I can't find any breakfast.
He's tried honey and acorns and thistles, but doesn't like any of them. Don't you know what Tigger's like?
I expect if I thought very hard I should, but I thought Tigger knew.
I do. Everything there is in the world except honey and acorns and what were those hot things called?
Thistles.
Yes, and those.
Oh, well then, Kanga can give you some breakfast.
Hello, Pooh. Hello, Piglet. Hello, Tigger. Hello, Tigger. Tigger.
Tigger can't find anything he likes for breakfast. We thought you might have something.
Well, look in my cupboard, Tigger dear, and see what you like.
But the more Tigger put his nose into this and his paw into that, the more things he found which Tigger didn't like. And eventually he had found everything in the cupboard and couldn't eat any of it.
Tiggers don't like any of that. What happens now?
Aw, must I?
Now, Rue dear, you remember what you promised.
What is it?
He's taking my medicine. He's taking my medicine. He's taking my medicine.
So that's what Tiggers like best.
So that's why Tigger lives at Kanga's house, and he has extract of malt for breakfast, dinner, and tea. And sometimes, when Kanga thinks he wants strengthening, he has a spoonful or two of Rue's breakfast after meals as medicine.
But I think that he's been strengthened quite enough.
The end. Yeah. This month's Share the Plate offering is for Española Pathways Shelter. Most unhoused people need a variety of supportive services to effectively transition into productive, stable living. Española Pathways Shelter offers an evidence-based approach as well as a wraparound supportive services model that provides comprehensive care alongside shelter and vital links to more permanent housing and stability. This month, all cash and undesignated funds that are received will go directly to the shelter. Please feel free to use the QR code for the Givelify app on the screen, or just use the app. May the offertory music lift your spirits, and may what you give bring you joy. Thank you for your generosity this morning. May these gifts be a blessing to those who use the shelter's resources.
Please rise and embody the spirit for our closing hymn, number 346. Come, sing a song with me, and remain standing through the benediction, through the closing song.
As we extinguish our chalice, may we remember the innocence that led our earliest explorations of the world, the new experiences that helped us learn about the world, the curiosity that brought to us understanding about the world, the ever-present spark of awe that gives us wisdom in the world.